All right, Kenman here, and the Rosecraft Blades pass around continues. We've got the next one in the series. Today we're going to look at the Cockleburr Creek Trapper. I'm on a pass around here with Rosecraft, so I get a new one every couple of weeks, get to check them out, share them with you, and then pass them on to the next person in the group. Let's take a look. Rosecraft is making some cool stuff. This is the Cockleburr Creek Trapper. Go ahead and get one of these blades out. Boom. It's a slip joint. Classic trapper style. Ooh, this feels good. Nice chunk of wood on there too. What are we looking at here, Kenman? Well, the Rosecraft slip joints, most of them are going to be crafted from a D2 steel. You got a nice little stamp right there, D2. Rosecraft on this side, the nickel silver bolster and shield pins. Man, looks really nice, very clean. It is a 2-blade knife, so if you look in here, they have a specific slot for each blade. I've seen some multi-blade kind of slip joints where they don't have that center beam separator. So I don't know if that makes it more solid or better or what. I'm trying to look at the sandwiched, the lines. That is just so smooth right there. You almost can't even tell. Look on the back, you can start to see the specific plates sandwiched together. But over here, man, that is a great design, great finish, very well executed. That's the thing I've been noticing with Rosecraft. When you get wood handles or stag handles, you have that natural material. Sometimes these little areas right in here where you're getting them attached and they're thin can have a little separation, and they'll use some filler or there will be a little chip knocked out or whatever. Rosecraft has figured out how to take these materials and make some very beautiful stuff. Very well done. The seams are all nice and clean, no little rough spots. I like it. So we've got the spay blade on here. Nice, not too difficult pull. I don't know, I guess 3 or 4 out of 10 on pull difficulty. Nice little shield on there. So here's your spay blade for sliding under and doing that specific farm work. Nice little belly on that blade right there. Feels sharp. And then you got your clip point on the other side, which is kind of almost more of a, it doesn't really clip all that much, but there is a little relief cut up there. Feels slicey. I like the way these are made. Chunk of wood. Looks great. Okay, excuse me. This blade is solid, no real play there. Obviously you're gonna get a little push this way because it's the slip joint. And the spay blade, also solid. Rosecraft knows what they're doing. Got nice half stops on there. Sometimes on a slip joint, it's just a one long pull all the way out, or they sometimes will also put in this half stop. I really like that extra accent of the half stop. That's my style all the way. Very clean, classy look on this one with the wood and the silver. Blades are both independently centered in their little respective spots. Very well made, snappy. The pull, like I said, that's probably like a 4, not too difficult. Can be pinched out. Nice, beautiful looking walk and talk, and the sound is nice. The look and feel, I dig it. The Cockleburr Creek Trapper. All right. Which Rosecrafts do you have in your collection? Comment below. Which one's your favorite? 7 3/8 end to end. 3 1/4 for the blade. And 4 1/8 on the handle. Nice size, full size. This is that classic trapper design. Thin, slicey blade, 0.07. 0.07. So the 0.07 carries right to there, and then you got this little relief cut, drops down, thins out. Long, thin, slicey blade on that one. Handle 0.57, thickest part back here 8.9, and then on the blade 0.57, and we have the never-ending battery. Will she ever go? The world may never know. 3.91. I compare everything with the Kaiser Drop Bear. Great EDC daily carry. 3.29. So it's a little bit heavier than the Drop Bear. It does have 2 blades in there. Another classic Trapper from Rough Rider, just to get a kind of a reference of what the Trappers look like. 3.52, 3.9. So it's heavier, but we'll do the comparisons. It's definitely thicker. 391 on this slip joint right here. Boom. So Kaiser Drop Bear, clutch lock, excellent daily user, 154 cm, tons of jimps, very fidgety, great bug out killer size. Handle is the same. Blade is a little bit shorter on the Drop Bear, so the Cockleburr Creek Trapper has just a slight bit of length on the blade. Other than that, it's basically the same size. Here is the 2-blade Trapper from Rough Rider. Same kind of thing. You got your clip point, you got your spade blade. Very similar. Actually been trying to get in some scrimshaw slowly. It's difficult. You scratch into the bone, raw bone like this. You scratch into it and then put ink in there and make some cool designs and stuff. Maybe get back into that in the future. These are virtually the same. If anything, the Rough Rider looks like the blade is just a 1/16 of an inch longer. Handle is the same. Shape, style, very similar. I noticed on the Rough Rider has the nickel bolster on the top and the bottom versus nothing down on the bottom here. Definitely thicker for the Rosecraft. They put the brass liners in there to kind of split up the look versus this is just all the same color. They both have the separator divider. This one does not have a half stop, see, so it's just one long pull. Does have the match strike pulls in the nail nicks though. If you need to strike a match in that surface, it's got that texture for it versus this one does not. Just to kind of compare and contrast, I do notice on this one here that the handle, when I have both blades like that, you've got this little groove that's really nice. It would feel good. The second index or the second finger kind of sits on that bump, and the other two fit in there. But because the way this, this is a 2-blade knife, generally you're always going to have one closed, which then kind of eliminates that grip because the blade is in the way. I don't mind it. I like the style of it, but it would be nice to be able to grab that handle more like that. But with 2 blades, you basically just can't. Cool stuff. Thanks again to Rosecraft for sending these out. I'm glad to be on the pass around. It's good to get a couple more checking out here. Let's do the old cut test. Let me zoom out maybe a little. Started doing a little paper cut test. Does it prove much? No. Ooh. But it does have some satisfaction sometimes. Look at that. Very slicey. Very, very sharp. That is great. I'm going to give that an 8.5 out of 10 on cut factor. Oof. Very good. I dig it. If you don't have any Rosecraft knives, you're interested, check them out. I have several videos. I should make a playlist of all of them. But if you're interested in some slip joints, more traditional style knives, they have a lot to offer. Very well built, really good stuff. Andy's a great guy over there at Rosecraft. Thanks again for having me on that pass around. Going to enjoy this one for a day or two and then send it on to the next one, the next person, and then we'll have another one to check out pretty soon. Stay sharp. We'll see you later.